720 WGN. This is RedEyeRemix. I'm Amy Guth. Thanks for being with us this evening, this first of February. It's February already. And as usual, February means crazy weather. We're watching snowplows running back and forth very quickly. And as soon as they can pick it up, there's more snow on its way. So good times. But we're here. We're hanging out. We're taking your calls 312-981-7200. And one of our favorite guests is in the studio with us. And he has brought some friends with him tonight. Welcome back to the show, Johnny Imerman. Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to see you.
We're
Thanks
so
for having
glad
us.
that you're here. And of course, he is the guy that is behind Imerman Angels, a wonderful organization that does such great work and pairs people touched by cancer with someone who has fought and survived the same kind of cancer to be a mentor angel, which is such a great and positive organization. And we're very big fans. But you have a very special thing coming up this week. Talk to us about that.
We do. So World Cancer Day is coming up, and it's a wonderful time for everybody to really think about who you might know who's been affected by cancer. And there's 14 million living cancer survivors in the U.S.
I was going to say, I think everybody knows somebody.
Everybody is touched by it.
A handful of people,
right?
yeah.
Right. Sometimes it's someone in your family, maybe a friend, maybe your college roommate. But, it's really all about the cancer organizations themselves, like Imerman Angels and like American Cancer Society, Leukemia Lymphoma Society, all these great partners that do great work in their own niche in the cancer world, coming together and being stronger together. And a lot of it's just about awareness, Amy. It's about people knowing that when someone they care about is diagnosed, if they know where to send them for the right resource at the right time, people get the services that they need. And so it's a time, I think, World Cancer Day, that everybody thinks about who you might know who's diagnosed. So oftentimes it doesn't matter which group you send them to first, because we're all connected in the back end, but to make sure that they're aware to find at least one, and hopefully they can network through and find the right resource. Because I remember myself when I was diagnosed, it happens so quickly, and you're scared, and you're nervous, and you don't know what's out there to help you, and you have to learn quickly a whole new jargon. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure people get what they need quickly. That's a big part. So it's good that everyone's talking about it, everyone's thinking about cancer. You guys are awesome for helping us, create some awareness out there about things like this. And again, Imerman Angels, like you said, we do one-on-one peer support. We're the largest group out there that we know of, 6,000 survivors and caregivers, screened, trained, been through it, ready to give back one-on-one and help somebody going through the same thing. So nobody fights this disease on their own.
So what is the timeline? If someone reaches out to Imerman Angels, what kind of timeline is it that they're looking at when you can get a mentor to them generally?
Within 24 hours. Within 24
you are not playing around.
We're not playing around.
I thought you were going to say a couple of weeks. Nope, I'm on it.
I'll be honest, we're very straightforward always. We're very entrepreneurial, and there were days as we grew that distance went up and down, but we can proudly say in our 9th year that with a staff of 12, we have such an amazing powerhouse group of 12 staff. I'm so proud of our team who cares so much and works so hard to make sure people are connected to the right survivor, but also done timely. Mm-hmm. Because, for example, Tim from Palatine calls, and he's 40, and he has brain cancer, and he's got a brain cancer surgery on Monday morning, and it's, today it's 2 days away. You got to get to that person before the surgery, so he has someone to talk to mm-hmm. who's had the same surgery, who can really shed light, so we can relieve his anxiety. So we realize how quickly it is. Within 24 hours, we're going to respond and get to the person and make sure we figure out what they're going through. And then once we know that, we're going to customize and find the right survivor who's the right match.
Excellent. I was going to say, because those couple of days leading up to that, those are going to be a long couple of days for that person, waiting for a surgery or an answer or more information or whatever. So that's excellent that it's 24 hours.
We got to be quick. A lot of these things are timely. When you have a major surgery coming up or you're starting your first day of chemo, like for me personally, I was terrified the night before my first chemo. I slept for 20 minutes, tossing and turning in my bed, just imagining what was going to happen to me for 8 hours, being dripped into my veins. But had the day before, I'd been quickly connected to someone who said, I'll tell you all about day one, which is the truth for most people on chemo. You don't feel a thing on your first day. That information would have relieved the anxiety so much for me that I could have slept, kept my immune system stronger, had my mind and my body in a good place, and been all right, been in a better place to be able to really tackle this thing. And, if you can't sleep well, your immune system is going to be down. And if your immune system down, your body's not helping yourself as much as it could be. So we want to relieve the mind, relieve anxiety, increase the immune system in people, create a friendship that's really going to answer questions for that person. They're in a better place showing up at 7:30 a.m. for chemo.
There you go. It's a great organization. Find them online, of course. Follow them, Imerman Angels, on Twitter. Find them on Facebook. You guys are everywhere.
Thank you. We
Everywhere.
had a great team again.
I can't believe it's just 12 people. That blows my mind. I pictured it being hundreds of people. I mean, you're in, all 50 states, 60 countries,
That's
right?
right. That's right. You definitely know your information. That's exactly right. So anyone, anywhere in the world touched by cancer with any type, at any stage level, you could be stage 4, you could be stage 1, you could be a mom, a brother, a sister, a cousin. We can help anyone, wherever you are. Google gives us a grant, which we're very flattered that we have free keywords for things like I'm alone with cancer, one-on-one cancer support. So if you're in Indonesia or you're in Paris or you're in Johannesburg and you type in one-on-one cancer support, or I'm looking to meet a survivor like me, Google pushes us up to number 1. So it really helps us reach people worldwide. But
How do you tackle that with so many languages involved?
That is a challenge, and there's always an answer for every challenge. And so we found a way that the worst case scenario, when you have 2 totally different languages and a great connection with someone in Johannesburg connected to somebody who's the perfect cancer match in Toronto, and those situations, probably they both speak English, but a better example might be somebody in Japan connected to somebody in, let's say, New York, and they don't speak the same language. We have a translator service that Imerman Angels absorbs the cost of because it's not important. That's part of what we do. And they just go back and forth one-to-one. They can Skype. They can FaceTime. Even on emails, if the person prefers, worldwide, point-to-point, one-to-one. But we have translators that can help to step in. But the really cool thing, and I'll just mention this briefly because I'm not a tech guy and I don't know much about it, but there is software that's coming out. I think Google's working on this, that literally, we're close, is an instantaneous, meaning like exactly at that second, where you speak in your language and it immediately translates into another language for someone to hear. So 2 people through Skype, imagine that, are having a conversation where one side is coming in Japanese into the microphone and the other person is simultaneously, at that moment, is hearing English if they live in New York. And we're close to that.
I love
There's
it.
technology that can do that, and that's going to change the game for us.
There'll be pieces of, colloquialisms that never quite work out if you throw them in a Google Translator, right? That are maybe a little like some funny moments there, but
I'm sure there's going to be a little language that doesn't fit in perfectly, but hopefully the gist, they can work around it to find the same. But you're right. I'm sure there's going to be a little slang or something that comes out a little funky.
But hey, as long as the bond is there and the help is there, it's all good.
It's all about the friendship.
All right, well, we have to take a quick break. We're here talking with Johnny Imerman. He's the guy behind Imerman Angels that you can find on Twitter and Facebook and all over the place. Just look around. You'll find him. Don't you worry about it. But when we come back, we're talking to him about more stuff, a very important date coming up this week, and all these people that he's brought with him. He's brought a whole crowd here, so we got to talk about all this stuff. 720 WGN. WGN. This is RedEyeRemix. I'm Amy Guth. Thanks for being with us tonight. This very snowy, hope you're snuggled indoors somewhere evening. We're taking your calls and your text messages at 312-981-7200. And I am not kidding. I have seen this little snowplow pass by the Allstate Showcase studio so many times, and each time I feel like he's scraping a couple inches off the ground. So it is coming down there. And if you're driving, be very, very, very careful. Err on the side of safety. Saronis, how are the roads looking right now? Saronis is taking a break. He's like totally not even listening to me. That's okay. That's all good. Anyway, we are here with Johnny Imerman, and he is the guy behind Imerman Angels, a wonderful organization that pairs people touched by cancer with a mentor who has been through the same kind of cancer, kicked its butt, and has a lot to say to help that person, give them hope. And we're always glad when he joins us on the program. Welcome back to the show. We're thrilled that you're here.
Amy, great to see you. Thanks so much for having us. Flattered to be here.
And you brought cake this time, which is so exciting.
We brought cake.
The infamous Imerman Cake Company, which is such a wonderful story that you told last time you were on the show when you brought your brother with you. How this wonderful cake that your mom makes, you've made this very healthy version of it, and it's available to all in chocolate or cinnamon. And we have a cinnamon one here, and we're gonna eat the whole thing. Kate's nodding. We're like, yep, we're on it. We're on it.
No, I'm stuck at your house tonight,
yeah,
so that's going to be our
in
food
Chicago.
for 2 days.
It's called Imerman Cake Company, and 100% organic, the only organic bakery out of Michigan, and a percentage goes back to Imerman Angels, which is great. They put us on every box. But it's at Plum Market right in Old Town on Wells and Division, a Michigan brand actually too. And I'm from Michigan, so we sort of connected with these guys a long time ago. But I hope you guys like it. And we can bring a chocolate another time for sure.
So Kate lives out in the suburbs, and so she's staying with me tonight. So we're going to, if we get snowed in, we're living off of that cake for a few days.
I love it. That's right.
So we'll let you know how that goes. It'll be all good.
Water and cake here.
Yeah,
lots of both.
It's all good. Okay, so you brought people with you. So we gotta talk. Who are you people? So we've got Tommy Hole is here.
Tommy Hole
with great energy for one.
It's 1 in the morning.
For 1:19 in the morning.
I mean, come on, wake up, people! Come on, Chicago. They're like,
right.
You know, we're snowed in basically by this Caterpillar.
Yes.
Tractor.
Indeed. So how are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm absolutely wonderful. This is great. This is such a treat.
And so tell us how you are connected to Imerman Angels.
So I'm celebrating about 1 year cancer survivor. So
Excellent.
About a year ago, I was diagnosed with a cancer called empathoid sarcoma. Never know. That sounds like a bad drag queen's name, but it's the gayest cancer you can get. It's of the pinky, by the way. It likes to start at the ends of your fingers, your toes. 1 in 2.5 million people get it, and it's common in young white males, 30 to 35. So you're okay.
Okay.
Amy, you're okay.
Okay.
And but no, you learn a lot. I have never had more than the flu or allergies, so this was beyond my realm of thought that this would ever happen. But in the beginning stages, I just started to reach out for help through friends, through family, and I had done Movember for a couple of years, so I'd known of Imerman Angels, but I never thought, I would actually reach out to them. And my friend said, why don't you give them a call? And it literally was 1 in the morning, like a night like this. And the next day I had Imerman Angels calling me at 9 in the morning. So it really is that fast. It's just, I think what happens is when you're in the midst of everything's going on, it's confusing, it's overwhelming. You don't know what your resources are. You're afraid. You don't know what, to ask. And this is really uplifting at 1 in the morning. Let's talk about it. But I mean, it's very important to know that there are people out there that want to help you and will help you, whether it's you want to talk, you don't want to talk, if you just need some financial resources that are available. They're celebrating 9 years, so they definitely know what they're doing. They made me feel comfortable, feel welcome, and they paired me up with Rynell Cook in California. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be just local, but it's very comforting to know that there's people out there when, like I said, you just don't know where to go and you don't know where to start, and they've been there since the very beginning, which is absolutely wonderful. So thank you. It's been a journey. It's you don't really think about. I mean, I was diagnosed when I was 30, so I mean, I know I'm 198 years old, but I'm 30, and you just learn a lot about yourself and how resilient you can be, but you don't realize that until you've kind of overcome that, that obstacle. So it's definitely been a blessing in disguise. One of my friends said it's a gift, and of course, in the midst of it, you're not. This is not a gift.
Sure.
I don't want to be looking at it like that. And it's brought me here, in different ways, but and everyone here too has been absolutely wonderful. So It's kind of, isn't it? It's interesting. It is.
Well, we're all glad that you're healthy and
thank
celebrating
you, Amy.
this milestone, and that's wonderful.
That I can get through the snow. I mean,
yeah,
everyone's a survivor out there at this hour, really.
All of those things. And so, okay, so talk to me about this. Like you're describing a very, very rare type of cancer that honestly I'd never even heard of 10 minutes ago.
I had
right?
neither. Yeah.
So how do you go about finding someone when you're looking for someone to mentor someone with such a rare type of cancer? Do you have, I mean, do you encourage people who have gone through cancer to like sign up and say, hey, if you need me, I'm here, this is what I've experienced? Or do you just, how do you find someone?
Right. That is a great question, because it's all about finding the right person that's going to click with someone like Tommy. And number one, Tommy's healthy and he's well and he's living a great life. And I don't know anybody more positive energy than this guy, to be honest with you. It makes me laugh.
At this hour,
he's still going.
Every
he's
day,
24/7, every day. It's amazing. And it's the friendships, like Tommy's talking about, that we all make between other young adult survivors and people touched by it. But that's a big part of a network. It's really a community in addition to the one-to-one. But yeah, your question, Amy, like how do you find the right person? By design, as we go from a couple thousand to today 6,000 to hopefully we're going to get to 6 million, maybe more survivors. By the design, having a pool that large, you're drawing from a population so big you can find exact matches. So every survivor that joins us, and I want to encourage any listeners out there, if you've been through cancer, you have a story. If you join us as an angel with Imerman Angels, we'll connect you with someone who needs that story. We're only as strong as our angel network. I mean, that is who we are. The power's in the team. The power's distributed evenly among every survivor. But it's all about finding the right match. It's easier to find a right match if we go from 6,000 to 6 million people. And we know there's 14 million living survivors just in the U.S. So they're out there. And it's our job to find them. And it's our job to get them on board. But that is the key to this service, Amy, as Tommy's talking about, is finding someone who also had bone cancer, who's also young, who's also open about her story, who's also in a good place and can prove to someone like Tommy that, hey, life gets better again. Because I've been there, and I know, Tommy, you've been there, and when you're going through it, it often doesn't feel like it will get better. It can be a marathon, and there can be rough days. It's a lot of ups and downs. And on those tough days, to know that someone survived and is happy and in maybe a great relationship, has a great job, wakes up every day grateful, that's the kind of hope we got to show the people that heard the words today, you have cancer.
For sure. And so if anyone is interested in signing up and lending their resources, their time, their money, any of those things to Imerman Angels, visit ImermanAngels.org or call 877-274-5529 to do just that. And so once someone gets to the website, there's everything they can find. Everything they need is right there, right?
Everything is right there. You can sign up on ImermanAngels.org, and if you put 2 M's in there, or you put angel, or you put .com, you're still going to find us. I think we've got about 15 URLs. So
angel, singular, plural, whatever.
We got them all. You're not going to miss us.
Wings, whatever.
Sure.
I think it might work out of wings. I don't know. It's a good question.
Yes.
But if you Google 101 Cancer Support, if you can't remember our name, I mean, we just want to make sure people can find the service and they're aware. And if people are aware, they have the opportunity to connect with others who get it. And that's what our mission's all about, giving people the opportunity to not feel like you're the only person in the world with this rare cancer.
You know where I first heard about this organization was I was standing on the side of the Chicago Marathon cheering for people, and I was like, what are these cool wing shirts? What is this? Who are these? What's happening right now? And that you have a lot of people running for your organization now. And I mean, at the time, I think I saw a couple go by, but now you run in that marathon, there are a ton of people wearing that shirt.
I'm so glad, Amy, that you've seen us before out there. We're very lucky. We have a great guy named Dave Louthan, and he runs our marathon team. He manages it. We have 140 runners that run for Imerman Angels every year. We call it Team IA, and it raises our biggest chunk of revenue across the board. Our budget's about $1.5 million a year, so relatively we're a small, medium-sized nonprofit, 12 staff it supports, but 140 runners are really, for us, a huge, huge part. And they spread the word. People like you, I love that have seen it and wondered what's that logo, and now you're connected to the mission. But anyone wants to run a marathon for us, doesn't have to be Chicago, could be, but it could be Dallas, or it could be in Germany. We got a guy doing Germany this year for us. You can be anywhere, and you can raise awareness, wear our Imerman Angels logo on your chest, so people just like you, Amy, will ask or learn about us, and you never know where that message reaches somebody who's fighting cancer somewhere, maybe across the world, who needs help.
I love it. Here's the next marathon I want to do. I want to get a Chicago team together to do the Great Wall of China Marathon. Let's do it. Let's go
to China.
Wouldn't that be fun?
All right.
I think if you get a group of like 12 or 10 or 12 people, you get quite a considerable deal in going.
She'll go with you right here. Michelle in studio is an Ironman, 2-time Ironman.
Nice. Okay,
she would love
let's
to
do this. Let's have a Chicago team.
I like the Iron Chef. That sounds more my.
Well, here's the thing about. Here's the great thing about the.
I like to eat.
Well, I do too, and you get to do a lot of that when you're training for a marathon. You are like putting away the calories. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing about the Great Wall Marathon is because it's so much of it is steps, and they're not even because it was built thousands of years ago. They don't really encourage you to run. You
they
just
can't
have to
remodel
kind of
that thing.
Hustle along, but you don't necessarily run because you're going to trip and fall on your face. So it's leisurely. You just kind of walk. You have 9 hours to do it. They'll route you through some villages. Children are throwing flower petals. It's all good. I think that'll
sounds
be
like a movie.
It'd be super, super fun to do.
That's awesome.
Okay, Team Chicago. We're starting it right here.
Love it.
Sweet. What about Polar Plunge? Can we jump in a lake on behalf of Imerman Angels?
You can do anything for us. We use a company actually called CrowdRise, and it's a site that we love, and it's really easy to set up a page, and you can raise funds and awareness for anyone. You email your friends, and I always say, donations are not the number one most important thing. Even if you email your friends and they don't donate, if they learn about the mission because you care about the mission, and it spreads to them, and maybe their college roommate tomorrow gets diagnosed with cancer, and they know about it because they read it on Facebook, and you send them to us, you are absolutely helping us. The funds, of course, like we have a staff and we have costs, but to do what we do, but that's not the most important thing. The awareness piece is the most important, always will be. It's finding the next person. So CrowdRise does the site. Ironically, I went to high school with the CrowdRise guy, so I'm a huge fan of him. And he started Moose Jaw in the beginning originally. He's a serial entrepreneur, and now he's gotten into this community social good space. CrowdRise. If you ever want to have another fun, cool guy on the show, he lives in Michigan, but he comes in here. But CrowdRise has taken off across the country. A lot of our nonprofits and our colleagues use him. He's been a friend of mine, family friend forever. His mother actually had cancer. I remember that experience. I'm sorry, his father. And it's an easy site for people to use.
Excellent. That's excellent. That sounds like a great cause that he's attached to. All right. So we're hanging out tonight, and we're talking with the great Johnny Imerman. He is the guy behind Imerman Angels, a wonderful organization. You can read all about them, ImermanAngels.org. You can find them on social media. It's a wonderful organization that connects people touched by cancer with people who have gone through the same type of cancer for this wonderful mentor angel system. And you can read all about them on the website and all the cool stuff they're up to. This week on February the 4th is World Cancer Day, so that's a time where we're all thinking about the people that we know and who we can connect people to and help each other out and all that good stuff.